Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of 3 for the book review on When, written by Daniel H. Pink.
You had
Um,
that upside down there.
yeah, there you go. So, just got into this book, page 0 to 83. A little short resume on what the book is about. There's a lot of books out there that are about the how to's and how to make this happen and how to make that happen, but there's not a lot of books out there on when to make it happen, when to go after different stuff. So this book tries its best to answer that question, and so far it's doing a really good job. I guess let's get right into it. You guys have anything from the first 83 pages that you'd like to talk about?
Well, the way it starts
Okay.
says time isn't the main thing, it's the only thing. By
That's
Miles
powerful.
Davis. I thought that was a pretty good way to start the book.
Yeah. Have you guys looked into that boat that Captain Turner sunk?
I haven't looked
Have-
into it, but I called Marty after reading that part, and I said, "This guy's a freaking idiot. What was he thinking?" And then I got to page 53, I believe, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. I do stupid shit in the afternoon too."
Right.
So can't blame him as much anymore.
It's almost like you have to start meeting all your clients in the morning,
Well,
right?
yeah, but every time I think that I should do everything in the morning, then I read something else where it's like most important things should be in the morning, but then some things should be in the afternoon, right? We'll be talking about that a lot
There's
more,
a
I'm
different,
sure.
there's a, so let's talk about that boat thing,
Yeah.
right? For those of you that have not read the book or looking to read it, there was this captain of a boat that was leaving New York to go towards the British Channel,
Hmm.
and the British Channel was occupied by German U-boats,
U-boats, submarines.
submarines, and he could have, made a maneuver to save a lot of time and get through the channel a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But in the afternoon, I guess his decisions making skills were a bit affected by his mood, and
It sounds so simple the first time you read it,
Yeah.
and then the further you get in the book, you're like, well, maybe the guy wasn't so stupid. He was just tired.
yeah, it's
Is it-
possible.
Is it tired?
Tired, or maybe he should have. I know what you said was he should have taken a break or maybe taken a nap
Taking a
because
nap.
he spent the whole night up
Yeah,
trying to navigate through the fog, right? And then when it cleared up, decided to turn up the volume a little bit and go a little bit faster, but not top notch.
yeah.
So I don't know why, but yeah, it was a crazy story.
I've never met a captain of a boat, so I don't know what their day's like. But one of the hardest things about scheduling is so many things are thrown at you during the day
True.
that you can't stick to your schedule,
Yeah,
right? So if you could, schedule breaks and not take appointments or not be bothered, you know, 2 hour or like maybe 15, 20 minutes in the morning or 15, 20 minutes in the afternoon, that might be a game changer. And then you can
Oh,
just
for
handle
sure.
everything that comes at you.
yeah.
So that's, I don't know. Like, I don't know how a captain does what does he do? He steers the ship. Big deal.
Makes decisions throughout the night. He
Steers
might-
their ship out of it. No idea. I have no idea. Ask a pilot. It's probably the same answer as a pilot.
Yeah, we have a few pilots
Yeah.
on the.
But does a
team.
captain drive the boat?
I don't know. Like,
I'm sure he does,
well,
right?
yeah, he
That's the
steers-
captain.
He steers the boat.
Yeah.
I wonder how much, like, how demanding is it? Like, the only time he's really making a decision, like an important decision, is to, swerve away from danger.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
how many encounters of danger is he getting into every day?
true.
So that might also be something that, like, well, is he actually, maybe he's just not used to it or hit him by surprise.
Yeah. So his task, ever since he left, was to steer away from the U-boats and keep the passengers safe.
Right, yeah.
And everything was good for 5 days in a row. So maybe his mind got tired of protecting the boat and trying to steer away from U-boats. So on that sixth day, or was it the fifth or sixth day?
I don't remember.
So I know he talks about 5 easy days. So let's call it the sixth day. I guess he just, grew tired and decision making was just very, very poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
experienced it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like yesterday after lunch, I was just wiped out, and it was good to take a little break.
Did you make any bad decisions?
Remember, we were trying to accomplish a small task in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Had about an hour to get it done. Normally, I get it done no problem, just formatting a few videos. But then for like an hour, I was just like, it wasn't
I think you
wasn't
just conned me into doing something.
something else.
else.
Hey, let me do this. So that was a good decision.
Yeah.
But
I was trying to write an important email, just couldn't do it.
What did you have for lunch?
Beef stew.
Beef stew. I'm not sure how heavy that is on you though. Like,
I guess it's quite heavy.
that's
Yeah.
lunch is the most important meal.
Yeah,
of the
I was
day.
just gonna say that. Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's move on to chapter 1.
Are you listening to the audio version as well?
No.
No? So you won't get the reference if I say Demerin, Dr. Demerin.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, the Mimosa pudica. So he talks about the plant.
Okay, yeah.
So you guys
Right.
want to talk about our internal clock a little bit?
Yes,
Sure.
for
So
sure.
the what's his name? It's Demirin or something like that. But the way he says it,
Oh, he's not French, obviously.
yeah.
Desmarins?
Desmarins. Let's just say Desmarins. So this guy, I guess he was a professor in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Experimented on his plant. So he
Right.
locked it up a few days in a row, and the plant would open up in the morning, close at night, even though there was no sunshine. So that's how he discovered that everything has an internal clock, or that was his philosophy, I guess.
Right. Yes.
So
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting.
The gentleman was an astronomer by the name of Jean-Jacques Dortoux de Marin.
De Marin. Well, in the book, he's like, like he's chewing on the book.
So I found that quite fascinating that the plant, has its own internal clock
Yeah,
and is not only affected by outside stimulus.
yeah.
I thought that plants only acted according to sunlight and, outside motivation like sunlight or water,
Right.
stuff
Yep.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out that when you put it in the cupboard,
I wonder if he still gave it water.
I
For
wonder.
Sure. He was checking on it every day. He must have.
You guys would not imagine on the 10th day that the plant was dead. No water.
Well,
Yeah, that's a pretty cool little story too on an introduction to the internal clocks.
And
Well, it has a lot to do with your mood too, right?
Right.
Like you're normally more happy midway through the day after you have that cup of coffee, like midway through the morning,
Mm-hmm.
than you are like right after lunch.
Yeah. I don't know how we're supposed to go through these 83 pages because what you just said makes me want to talk about when to take coffee and the best way to take a nap.
Right.
I found that was pretty interesting.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So according to studies, best way to take a nap is to have a cup of joe and then 10 minutes later take a 10 to 25 minute nap.
An appuccino.
The nappuccino. Yeah.
Make sure you don't go over the 25 minutes.
Because then you're screwed.
Yeah, or else your brain hops into this,
Yeah.
what is it called, deep sleep,
Yeah.
and you're knocked out of that cycle of
Yeah.
REM.
REM.
I just don't know if I could actually fall asleep for 20 minutes.
I can manage that quite
Yeah.
easily.
Like if you were to lay down right now, you would fall asleep.
No, because right now I'm pretty wired. Like it's the morning, and my mood's up, and I'm energetic. But after that lunch yesterday, it's like I was tired,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I'm self-conscious. I'm like, oh shit, I'm at the office. Doesn't look good if I take a nap,
Right.
So there's that aspect to it also.
I think
Mm.
I'd have a hard time
Napping at the office.
falling asleep.
At the office or just
I'm gonna get a couch for my office.
oh for sure.
Okay.
Look
And-
behind you.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that, and it's one of the first things I noticed today. Actually, I'm like, oh, they have a couch here. They must take naps.
Not here, but at Core, when we used to work at the other office, there was a napping station, a napping room, and I took advantage of it a couple times.
It's no longer there. Nobody's napping anymore.
Well, they should. They should read this book and use it again. I
Well,
used it.
But imagine if you were to walk. I remember when I was working in an office setting, and I would be sitting down, and was lunchtime, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a nap
At your desk.
at my desk. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm just gonna put my feet up on the desk, lay the chair back, and just take a nap.
Do the Jablinski.
Let her rip.
Yeah. So
PewDiePie.
that's exactly what I did. And then finally, my coworker came up to me and said, "Hey, listen, like it doesn't look good to take a nap."
Well, it doesn't, and he talks about it in the book
Yeah.
where it's a
There's a
stigma.
Yeah.
Well, Spain was, a long time
La siesta.
napping community, and it was part of their culture, for 1,000 years plus.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they were falling behind in productivity. Their GDP was falling, and the government was like, "Hey, we need to be more American. We need to be, more like our Western culture, and screw these naps, screw these lunches at home. You guys are not allowed to go home anymore to take a nap."
Yeah.
And then it did the opposite effect. It got their production down.
We're always in a rush.
Yeah, man.
We're
It's
always
crazy.
in a rush. It is. Like if you go to Europe, I had some friends tell me the story. They went to Europe. They were in a rush, and they went to this espresso cafe, and they asked for a cup of coffee to go.
Yeah.
The gentleman told them, "What do you mean to go?" Like he had no idea what they were talking about. It's like, you know what? Why don't you sit down, have a coffee, and then I'll give you guys.
That's why they're
you can
big on
take with you."
espressos, because chug it, off you go.
Yeah, but sit down, have a coffee.
Right.
What did I do this morning? I passed by McDonald's to grab myself a coffee to go
In
Yeah.
your car.
in my car,
Yeah.
right? To come to this book club,
Yeah.
right? And now we're
Or
sitting
you.
down, we're hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm having my coffee here, so it doesn't really count. But, it's just, if we can just take a step back and take 15, 20 minutes instead of looking at our phones, enjoy the coffee and just think,
Yeah.
that's a good break.
I agree.
I'm going to
Totally
try to
agree.
make some changes in my schedule to take advantage of the mood swings that are, natural. So higher energy in the morning, higher energy in, the late afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So why not take advantage of it? And he opens up the door to this subject of night owls and morning larks.
Yeah.
What do you guys think you guys are? Like,
Do you want to talk about that while talking about the Linda problem, maybe?
sure.
Because it sort of starts with that and jumps into the
Okay.
larks and morning owls.
Yeah.
So the Linda problem, do you guys remember a little bit about that?
Refresh my memory.
So I guess it's some professors are asking questions about, well, the example was the Linda problem. So Linda is she's a
yes.
bank teller,
Yes.
but she's also a feminist or something like that.
Is she a bank teller and an activist, or
Yeah.
is she just a bank teller?
Yeah, so the question isn't really what kind of person is she? Is she a bank teller type of thing?
Yeah.
But then because they give you a little bit of her background story, you're more inclined to say, oh, she's definitely a bank teller feminist or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
When, yeah.
Did you guys?
This example comes
I got it
from-
wrong. I got it wrong in the morning, and
Yeah.
they say that you're supposed to get it right in the morning, but
So this comes from the book Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman.
okay.
I saw that exact same example, and she is obviously more likely to be a bank teller. And he also mentions another example of the 544 BC
The
coin,
coin.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I got that wrong.
Yeah, me too. So
So
they
it's-
say when you're a little bit more tired in the afternoon, you put your guards down,
Right.
and then, geez, what do you call that? It's a lot of information in this book.
So you need if you want insight,
Yeah,
you want that in the afternoon. You have that in the afternoon. But if you
Right.
want, I guess, cognitive, analytical thinking, you might do that in the morning. Is that what it is?
so problem solving is better in the afternoon.
Right. So if you think Ernesto is a dealer in an antique coins, one day someone brings him a beautiful bronze coin. The coin has an emperor's head on it on one side and the date 544 BC stamped on the other. Ernesto examines the coin, calls the cops. Why?
See, it's a tricky question because it could have been a coin dedicated to that era, but done after, you know?
So it's a fake coin.
Well, I
Call
don't
the
know.
cops. Lock him up.
Yeah,
You're done.
yeah. Anyways, it's
It's just you need. So he says here, flash of illuminance are more likely to come in the afternoon than in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe because you've dealt with more context during the day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you go to the doctor's office, because he's dealt with more context during the day, he's just
Yeah.
pushing
Let's talk about that a bit.
antibiotics at you.
So the studies that were done both in hospitals and the judicial system,
Mm-hmm.
I got it's pretty scary, right?
So yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you're going to the doctor the afternoon, um, he brought up the case of colonoscopies. Every hour that goes by, they detect 5% less problems in patients. Now,
Yep.
does that have to do with patients that book in the afternoon are less likely to have problems?
It's crazy. They detect 1.1 polyp per client
Yeah, and then it goes down
in the morning, and then it goes down to almost nothing.
in the afternoon.
So if you have like something that's cancerous, like cancerous polyps or something,
Yeah.
like they won't discover it in the afternoon. Like
So go in the morning. I mean,
if you're gonna go for a colonoscopy, book it in the morning.
get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, not just colonoscopy. If you're going into surgery, like the anesthetist,
Yeah.
4 times more chances of doing a mistake in the afternoon.
Yeah. But is it everywhere now that they're taking these little short breaks before every surgery? I don't remember exactly what they said, but they now have like these cards that they have to follow step by step.
Yeah,
I hope so.
yeah, they
Yeah.
have it here. It's a little checklist that they go through, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
We're
like
lucky.
little pre-surgery.
like pilots are notorious, are like known to do that, right?
Yeah, and you know what? You hear about those planes crashing. But I remember taking a plane and we were delayed 4 hours because the gas gouge wasn't working properly.
Mm-hmm.
The
I mean,
gas gouge.
If that's not working on your car, or you got a tire that's slightly deflated, you're gonna be like, oh fuck it,
Yeah.
I'll get around to it next month.
Exactly.
And you'll drive around.
Yeah.
But maybe that's one of the reasons why air travel is like one of the safest.
Yeah.
If there's anything that could go wrong, they stop the plane.
Yeah.
Here's the checklist for the anesthesiologist. So it starts off by an introduction of everybody around the table. Super basic,
Right.
but at least it puts everybody, okay,
In check.
zero in, this is what's going on.
Yep.
Followed by the patient identification. I mean, obviously, you want to make sure you're doing the right procedure on the
Yeah.
right person. Side by site mark. I guess they mark the body. Diagnostic and radiology test results, and allergy review.
What page is that?
That's on page 52. So I mean, those 5 things sound pretty simple, but
Mm-hmm.
how devastating would it be if you wake up going in for an appendicitis removal and you wake up with an amputated leg or something?
And I witnessed that when they were doing the C-section for my wife.
They were doing the checklist.
Yeah, they were doing well. I didn't know about this particular checklist, but they were doing something.
Yeah, it must be the norm now, right?
Yeah, they were doing something. They were talking.
And
Yeah,
it's like-
check this, that.
Yeah. And they also talk about the tests where they've I don't remember exactly how they did it, but how many doctors washed their hands and how many times a day, and the
Right.
numbers were like pretty scary. As the day went on, people just stopped washing their hands. They didn't use hand sanitizer anymore.
Just because they were like, I've cleaned these hands so many
Yeah.
times today.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
they probably
pretty crazy.
completely, their hands must be extremely dry,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's probably the reason why. Why can't they just wear gloves?
Yeah, I mean, you got to make sure that there's no bacteria. I think that's
Mhm.
the thing. The judicial system was also pretty eye-opening.
Yeah.
So, like, the
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Every time he would take a break.
there's like 0% parole being approved just before lunch. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're going back in. But in the morning, they're hitting numbers like 60%. And then when they come back, I don't know, man. I mean, these numbers are friggin' they're unbelievable.
Scary.
They are scary. It really, and that's the cool thing about this book is that it really, like, does it actually make that much of a difference? Does a break, like a lousy break,
Yeah.
make that much of a difference in mood?
This
Does
is
it make
what
that much of a difference in
they're
a decision?
arguing.
This is
Yeah.
lifetime decisions here.
Yeah.
Like these judges, like they never give parole before lunch.
Yeah, so less
Like-
severe in the morning, more severe in the afternoon, but then after a break, they're less severe again. So it doesn't matter what time of day, like even in the afternoon, they take a short 20-minute break, they come back, they're less severe again.
Yeah.
So breaks are hella important.
The only
Rahel,
thing,
take a break.
the only thing I knew coming into this book is how important, something like working out in the morning is.
Yeah.
It's obviously the best time to work out,
Yeah.
no question.
Well, depending on what
you
you're
wanna
looking
achieve,
for,
yeah.
right?
Well, I guess you can get stronger, but if you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking for a better mood, it's always better in the morning.
But if you're in a CrossFit competition, let's say, according to this, you're better off doing it in the afternoon because that's when you're stronger
Right. So if you're running
and
a marathon,
less inclined to hurt yourself
If
So-
if you're looking to lose weight,
in the
it's better
morning.
to do it fasted,
So
which
if
is
you-
usually the morning.
yeah, so if you're doing a mud race, then schedule it for the afternoon.
Yeah.
You might be better off.
Yeah.
Less likely to injure yourself in the afternoon. But I guess it boils down to that Linda problem and the coin problem, right?
Yeah.
You're more alert in the morning,
Yeah.
more context in the afternoon.
That makes sense.
Maybe you're more cautious about what you're doing. So
It's just, it really demonstrates the importance of sleep. And this is going completely weird, but I started looking at all these. You've heard of the Club 27, the celebrities, right? That
Nope.
passed away at the age of 27.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you have like Amy Winehouse and Kurt Cobain,
Yeah.
right? Think of their schedule. Like they were on the go all the time. They would sleep with pills, wake up with pills,
Mm-hmm.
right? There is a video of Amy Winehouse right now on YouTube where she's completely drunk, singing on stage. She obviously had not slept. She's been drunk for at least 4 or 5 days straight,
Phew.
right? Like it's so sad, and I have no idea how these celebrities actually go on with their days without proper sleep and a proper schedule. Like how do they even do it?
yeah, the demands on their schedules must be like
Unbelievable.
inhumane. I mean, we all have
Mhm.
this
Like they wouldn't.
interior clock, right? That asks us to sleep and to do different things. But like, if you're just hijacking that with pills and uppers and downers, then you must be like causing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Because you can take they would wake up, they would take Adderall. That would pick you up, right? I don't know. I'm just naming
Yeah.
something right now, right? And then they would probably do their average drugs, they would do the heroin and all that stuff. And it's just, man, I'm reading this book and I'm thinking about my hectic schedule already. And then I think about the ones that have an even crazier schedule than me.
Yeah. Like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
What does he do?
How does he handle it?
No idea.
Adderall, man.
He's
Adderall,
a
100%.
he's a robot.
If you have if you have the chance, it's quite long, but his podcast with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a glimpse of how freaking depressed he is.
What, you read his book?
Not yet. No.
Not yet. Okay, yeah. You can. What do you mean? You think he's
So
depressed?
he talks maybe for about 30 minutes how you would not particularly want to be him.
Yeah.
Because he's always on the go, and he says it's like, he says
It's
running,
tough.
starting a business is like chewing glass and staring into the abyss. That's one of his quotes,
Right.
right? So
That sounds fun. That sounds
it's
very
like
fun.
it's despair, and you don't know
Yeah.
when you're gonna hit the home run or the.
But he doesn't do it for the money.
No.
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 And he's very. I think he's very. He's special.
So, do you guys think he's a lark or an owl? I think you should go back to what you wanted to say. Sorry for.
Oh shit! I think he's a
putting it
bit
away.
of both. But when you say he doesn't do it for the money, I think his why is big enough to carry him through whatever,
Yeah.
right? So that's a different thing. He's got
Yeah.
more of a bigger goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys do the lark and owl test?
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
No?
I want to be a lark. I don't want to be an owl. Right. So
Mhm.
I'm almost like.
Yeah.
I don't care if this book tells me I'm an owl. I want to be a lark.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the third bird, and most
Which
of
is-
us are third birds.
Probably third, but you're always
So a mix of both, right?
Yeah.
like, you're
That's
probably
what
not
it would
in the middle, right? You're probably more.
Yeah, so I did the test. I thought for sure I was a lark, and then I started thinking more of what he was saying, and I did the test, and I'm more of I'm a middle bird, but I'm more of an owl. So even though I wake up early in the morning, don't talk to me about your problem solving ideas in the morning, because I don't want to hear it. You can testify.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Sometimes they'll call me at 7 in the morning and say, "Hey, I have an idea for this." I'm like, "Yeah, no, don't talk to me about that right now."
Murray's always has ideas.
I'm on board with what you're saying though. I don't really care what I am. I want to be a morning person.
Yeah.
I think the morning just offers a lot of advantages.
Mhm.
There's nobody bothering you.
Yeah.
Nobody's up. There's like no demands being placed on you.
Yeah.
Your email, your texts, your Facebook messengers
Mhm.
are not going to be, coming in, so you can focus on just doing your shit,
Mm-hmm.
doing what's important for you, and attacking the day before it starts attacking you.
Exactly.
You know.
That's the best part. The morning, just waking up in the morning, like he says, don't drink coffee within the first hour to 90 minutes, right?
I tried that this morning.
I tried that this morning
I
too.
fell asleep.
This is
I
Did you guys
woke-
drink a big glass of water?
I drank 2
Yes.
big glasses
Yeah.
of water. This is my first coffee today, and I
Yeah.
feel like I'm on fire right now.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel like I can conquer the world.
So my morning is I wake up, drink a glass of water, go for meditation, 10 minutes. That was fine. That was like normal. But then I said, hey, I'm going to skip the coffee. So I got down to answer some emails on my couch. I woke up an hour later. And I was like, oh, shit. So I don't know about that coffee thing. I think I need that coffee right when I wake up.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe, man. It's not, because apparently what does it do? It reduces your,
Yeah, cortisone production.
Melatonin?
No, melatonin's to fall asleep.
Oh yeah.
So cortisone is it's a stress hormone. It starts to get produced in the morning, and you're
So-
sort of hijacking that system if you're drinking coffee.
So we know that caffeine takes about 25 minutes to enter the bloodstream.
Okay.
So for you to start feeling the effects of coffee, it takes about 25 minutes.
Okay.
So it's all in your head, Marty. If
Probably.
you can sit down for another 25 minutes
Yeah.
and drink your coffee, you'll be on fire.
It was a test sample of one morning, so
Yeah.
we'll see. But that was my conclusion this morning.
Did
Yeah.
you what do you guys think about the 2020 break rule? Do you remember a little bit about that?
I remember the section about all the tips and tricks
Yeah.
for taking breaks.
I thought that was pretty interesting. Every 20 minutes, for 20 seconds, stare at something that's 20 feet away from your screen.
Yeah.
I don't think our office is big enough for that.
That window is amazing, though. You've
Yeah.
always got like squirrels and birds fighting over.
Yeah.
The
So from what I
acorns.
understand, like take as many breaks as possible.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Without exaggerating, but
Yeah.
like
So I wonder if there's any. So I was working at the hospital at one point, and a diabetic came out,
Yeah.
and he doesn't sleep. So he's obviously an owl. He doesn't sleep ever, and he had like a medicinal marijuana.
mm-hmm.
He gave it to me, and I took a couple of puffs. I sat down and stared at a cone, a black and orange cone, like those street cones, for an hour. No worries, nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was the best break ever.
Really?
Right? And I went back to work, and I was just refreshed.
Yeah.
So I'm not advocating, on your breaks go smoke weed.
Yeah.
But, I wonder, like the ones that do, or even the ones that drink, or even the ones that whatever, how does that impact the way they take their breaks when they're at work?
Mm-hmm. That's
Sure, it impacts it a bit. Yeah.
Quite a bit, yeah, for sure. So I don't know. And if you really, like, I love what I'm doing, but sometimes you get into a very tough situation. You have to figure something out. It's almost like taking 20 minutes is just completely out of the. It's weird. I don't
Yeah.
know how I'm able to just take 20, or what did he say? 40 seconds to stare at a screen. What is it? 20 seconds, Chris?
People's
20
expectations.
seconds. Yeah.
People's expectations are like right now. I want this, like yesterday. So it's tough to justify the break, but maybe it's beneficial for us to look at it differently.
Mm-hmm. two key factors to take into consideration when you are taking a break: autonomy and detachment. So taking a break in an environment that you can control and control your break. So leave the work premises, go somewhere else. What's up? Eh? Anyways, so leave and just do something that you can control. Like go somewhere else. Go to Timmy's. That's probably why we like working out of coffee shops. And detachment. So do something completely different than what your task was at work. So
Right.
those are the two.
Yeah, change the environment.
Yeah.
I've been challenging myself this month with a 2 kilometer run every morning, and like it's really funny how it gets easier when I change the route.
Oh yeah.
Like the first 3-4 mornings, I was always running the same route, and then the next day I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go turn left instead of right, and I ran my best time, you know.
Mm.
Wow.
And I just keep changing like the routes, and it gets easier. The mind is like, it's sort of like, oh wow, I didn't see this, I never noticed this.
No phones.
No phones.
You're completely detached.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, it's good.
That's what I like about going into the sauna.
Yeah.
Personally.
Makes sense.
Well, gentlemen, what is our homework for next week? We're gonna break this book into three episodes,
So we're
So
at
let's,
part 2 now.
about 100 pages. What would that bring us to? So 83,
104.
104. So
I think. Sorry.
204.
We talked about this yesterday. Part 3 is 174.
174. I think that's good, eh? 90 pages.
Well, it's the same amount of pages. A little bit less.
You guys good with that?
Yep.
I'm good with that.
So 174.
So 83 to 174.
All right.
Cool. Well, we
What's
hope
that?
that you're enjoying this book as much as we are. Definitely different than what we're used to. If you guys want to join us, we're at Media Mall, 9:30 a.m. every Thursday. So you guys can join us here at the office. But if we don't see you next week, hopefully you'll be tuning in. And if you're watching this right now, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. Cool.
Keep reading.
Yes.